I want to thank everyone for coming out this evening. We're going to talk about a very important topic, a topic that affects everybody here, and is a topic that could have long-term, life-changing effects for you and for us. But before I get started, I want to do a little exercise, all right? In just a moment when I tell you to, I want everybody to close your eyes and don't open them until I tell you that you can, okay? You ready? I'm going to time you just a few seconds. Everybody, close your eyes. And open them. You just had your eyes closed for 4.6 seconds, almost 5 seconds. Now, that might not sound like a long time, but you can tell just by sitting there how long that was. Now, imagine that you're driving down the road at 55 miles per hour, and you have to close your eyes that long while you're driving. Now, if you got your eyes closed, going down the road 55 miles per hour, think about all the things that can happen in 5 seconds. How many children can run out in front of your car in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 seconds? How many cars can pull out in front of you, run a stoplight, run a stop sign in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 seconds? Or even better yet, how many squirrels in the treetops can plan your demise, parachute from the tops of the oaks into the highway, just in time for you to open your eyes and crash your car into a tree in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 seconds? A lot of things can happen, right, in 5 seconds. And what you may not realize is that 4.6 seconds is the average time a person who is texting while driving has their eyes off of the road per every 6 seconds of drive time. 4.6 seconds. Now, to put that in a little bit more perspective for you, if you are traveling down the road at 55 miles per hour, in 4.6 seconds, you can drive the full length of a football field. That's how long 4.6 seconds is at 55 miles per hour. So driving while texting is a very dangerous thing to do. In fact, using your cell phone at all while driving is actually a very dangerous thing to do. And that's what I want to talk to you about this evening. And that brings me to my first reality check, my first fact, whether we like it or not, and that is that using a cell phone while driving is a very dangerous thing to do. A study by the University of Utah in 2006 actually compared drunk driving and cell phone driving to see what the difference was. And what they found out is that the response time between someone using their cell phone, talking on it, texting on it, using a Bluetooth, whatever it was, using your cell phone while driving, you have the same response time as someone who is legally drunk with a 0.08% alcohol blood content level. Same response time as that. And what they also found was 8% of all drivers on the road at any given daylight hour are actually driving while using their cell phone. 8% of them. Now think about how many cars you pass on your way home from school or from work or from church. And think about the fact that as you're going down that every 100 cars, 8 of them aren't paying attention to the road and could take your life, take their own life, or take the life of someone that is around you. It is a very dangerous thing to do. Carnegie Mellon University did a study on cell phone use while driving, and what they discovered is that when you're talking on the phone while driving, your brain activity goes down 37%. Brain activity that is specifically linked to motor skills you need while you are driving. 37%, it declines 37%. That is more than someone who is legally drunk at a 0.0% blood alcohol content level. Now, not only are we as adults susceptible, actually teens are the most susceptible to being distracted while driving. They're the most susceptible. A study done by the Pew Research Center found out that 40% of teenagers in America who were surveyed said that they have been in a car where driving conditions were made dangerous by someone using a cell phone. That was the Pew Research Center. The National Highway Transportation Safety Administration did a study back in 2009, and what they found out is that among fatal crashes caused by distracted driving, the age group of teenagers are the most likely to be in a fatal car crash while driving while distracted. What they also found out was that 16% of all fatal car crashes involving teenagers was due to the teenagers being distracted while driving. So it's a pretty dangerous thing for teenagers to do. They're very susceptible to it. But it's not just teenagers. That same study in 2009 found out that year 5,474 fatal car crashes were caused by people using their cell phones while driving. Now that may not sound like a lot. There's a lot of car crashes, right? But maybe this will bring it even to more perspective. 448,000 injuries by car crashes caused by someone using their cell phone while driving were reported in 2009. That's almost 500,000 people were injured because somebody was using their cell phone while going down the road. What that equates to is 16% of all fatal crashes in 2009 were caused by distracted driving. 20% of all crashes that had injuries in them were caused by people who were distracted while they were driving. So it's a very serious thing. So what do we do about it? How do we prevent these distractions from causing car accidents and taking people's lives and injuring people on the road? And I think it's a threefold approach. I think that a combination of government, parents, and drivers, we can make a difference on the roads and make our roads safer. I think it starts with parents, since teenagers are the most susceptible to go out and to drive while being distracted. We as parents need to take a stand and to set the example. And I think that's the first thing we can do as parents, is that when we are driving, not use our cell phones. I'm guilty of it, right? I know, it's hard. But if we put our cell phones away and we set the example, we can show our kids that using the cell phone while driving is not an okay behavior. Not just using the cell phone while driving, but also talking to our kids about cell phone use while driving. And having these discussions with them. There's a website you can actually go to, www.drivingdistracted.gov. You can go on there. There's all kinds of statistics and stories and photos you can talk to your kids about. But not just talking to them, I think we also need to set rules and enforce those rules, and to tell our children that driving while distracted is not an okay thing to do, that they cannot do it and get away with it, that we have to set rules as parents and enforce those rules. And not just parents, but I think the government should get involved too. I mean, think about it. If driving and using your cell phone is just as dangerous as driving drunk, and we have laws against driving drunk, then shouldn't we have laws to protect people against drivers who are using their cell phone going down the road? I think so. Specifically texting. Texting is the most dangerous thing you can do while driving, and I think we need to have laws set in place to stop people from texting while driving. And also teenagers, since teenagers are the main people who are susceptible to driving while distracted, I think we should cater the laws towards teenagers and maybe more unexperienced drivers so that they are prevented or at least discouraged from driving and using their cell phone at the same time. In conclusion, I think that driving and using your cell phone is a very dangerous thing to do. In fact, states that have passed laws that have said you cannot do this, they are now releasing recent studies that are showing that their accidents have went down, accidents that are caused by driving while distracted. And I think as parents, we make a huge difference. I think we need to talk to our kids. I think that we need to enforce rules. And I think most importantly, we need to lead by example and let our kids know that this is not an okay thing to do. If we do these things, we may save our children's lives, we may save our own life, or we may save the life of someone else's child. Thank you.